Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Traffic Jam. In 2005, Congress posted a law stating that the Justice Department must carry out human trafficking research and analysis every 2 years to combat the crisis. This was called the Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act. However, a study in 2009 was the only one to exist after this law was passed. To fix this problem, Senator Josh Hawley proposed a bill essentially restating the Victims Protection Reauthorization Act. This bill is relevant because it would allow researchers to better understand the depth of the trafficking problem in America and come up with solutions on how to stop it. This will also combat arguments from skeptics claiming that human trafficking doesn't really exist or isn't really a problem because there is no data to prove it. So, how will this new act work? Well, it's been split into two different studies. First, researchers must estimate characteristics of all types of trafficking, from human to labor to sex, and numbers and demographics on trafficking victims. The second study focuses specifically on sex trafficking characteristics and traffickers, and research into the commercial sex economy to determine the relation between the two. Studies must also include regional and economic studies in order to pinpoint where the problem is the worst and implement plans for solutions. Of course, there have been small regional studies such as these. There have been prison and shelter studies to determine the percent of those populations made up by victims. The same study also determined that victims that were in these places reached out for help, but many had not received the help that they asked for. These studies are helpful, of course, but in order for the numbers of victims who actually received the help to go up, these same studies must be implemented countrywide. If we want to make a noticeable impact on human trafficking to the point where we can abolish it for good, widespread research would be a great way to start. That's all for this week. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Traffic Jam.